Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes boss reveals all on Brazilian GP team radio chat. Fans didn't hear Hamilton qualified in pole at the Interlagos track ahead of rival Sebastian Vettel and teammate Valtteri Bottas. But he lost that lead in Sunday's race and had a collision between Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon to thank for regaining it later on. Stayed in first to beat Red Bull's Verstappen to victory by a slender margin of 1.469s. During the recent Mexican Grand Prix, fans tuning in at home could hear the F1 champion being congratulated on his title success over team radio, as is standard. However, has revealed all on a chat on another of the team's channels during the Brazilian Grand Prix which fans couldn't hear and that concerned a problem with Hamilton's car. "We had such a horrible race," Wolff said, despite Hamilton's win and Bottas coming in fifth. "We have the engine guys here in the back and then we have them back at base, and what I could hear because I have about 10 channels open on one of the 10 channels, the meeting channel, was, Lewis Hamilton power unit failure imminent, it's going to fail within the next lap. I put the volume up and I was like, excuse me, what? And they said, yeah, we've got a massive problem on the power unit, it's going to fail next lap." It didn't fail next lap and I said, when you guys have a minute, tell me what's happening. So I let them work. And they said, well, our exhaust is just about to fail and we're overshooting all the temperature limits. So I said, what's the fix? And they started to fix it by turning the whole thing down. The temperatures went down to below 1,000 C, to 980 C, but it's still too high, and then he recovered another lap and that was truly horrible. Hamilton's 10th win of the campaign was not the only reason Wolff had to celebrate in Brazil. Mercedes also wrapped up the World Constructors' Championship ahead of Ferrari. The Brackley-based team have now won the title 5 times on the spin. Related articles, 2. Lewis Hamilton, what F1 champion did at Brazilian Grand Prix was wrong, Martin Brundle. That is the opinion of former F1 driver and expert Martin Brundle, who says he is pleased the Mercedes man later retracted his comments towards the Russian. Hamilton and Sirotkin were both on the Interlagos track on Saturday afternoon looking to lay down a marker for Sunday's race. But they almost collided after Sirotkin moved in towards him on an out lap when Hamilton was trying to create a gap to post a quicker time on the next one. The Williams driver ended up on the grass and ultimately qualified in 15th, while went on to secure pole ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton fumed after qualifying, claiming Sirotkin had made quite a disrespectful move leading their cars to come within inches of each other. And sports pundit Brundle has now questioned the champion for doing so, suggesting Sirotkin's quick thinking saved him. After qualifying I felt there was a good chance the front row of Lewis Hamilton then would change, Brundle wrote for. Lewis had mildly got in the way of Kimi Räikkönen's fast lap on the exit of Turn 3, but in Turn 10 failed to notice a fast-approaching Sergei Sirotkin in his mirrors and swerved late and left just as Sirotkin had elected to take the obvious route down the left-hand side. Sirotkin was on an out lap like Hamilton too, but with under temperature used tires he needed to heat them up before starting his lap. With cat-like reactions he avoided smashing both cars to pieces and took to the grass. Lewis should have thanked him, especially as he would go on to take pole and win the race, but instead he called Sirotkin disrespectful. Anyone is entitled to drive their out lap just as fast as they need to. Brundle says he is glad Hamilton admitted he was wrong for slamming Sirotkin though. I'm pleased that Lewis openly retracted that on race day, Brundle added. I can't help but think that if the likes of Sirotkin, Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen had shoved Hamilton on the grass with a high-speed near-miss. They would have taken a penalty. Indeed, Sirotkin did ironically receive a reprimand for driving too slowly on an in-lap, but I can't see what difference it makes whether you're heading out of the pits or into it.